T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to the Play It By Ear podcast. The podcast where the topics may vary because, hey, we play it by ear. And now your hosts, Eric Fiskus, Brady Liming, and Todd Griffin.
Nice.
Moon River.
Dr. Jellyfinger.
Using the whole fist there, Doc.
Nice.
Time. Welcome to episode 148 of the Play It By Ear podcast. It's Thanksgiving, almost.
It is.
Week and a day away. Are you preparing your gullets for a lot of good eats?
Your crops and your gizzards.
My gullet is stretched and prepared.
Like your turkey skin.
Which looks suspiciously like elbow skin.
Hello, Savannah.
Savannah.
Got some people in the room here. Check in if you like. If not, linger back in the shadows. It's all good. All right. This is a Thanksgiving episode of the Play It By Ear podcast. I don't know how many of these we've done.
At least two, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
one.
I looked it up. The first one that we did was November 27th of the first year we did the podcast. That would have been what, 2020?
2020.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So November 27th, 2020. Well, that was when it was released.
That's
Now,
strange.
what I don't know is whether that was before we went to this format on Facebook, or were we still? I can't remember exactly when we did that.
We started this particular format on episode 30.
Wow, has it been that long?
Yeah. So I don't know what episode that was, that first Thanksgiving episode, but I'm guessing it probably was audio only. That's my guess.
Yeah.
I remember the poster for it because we all three had pilgrim hats and we were being hunted, or excuse me, we were turkey heads and we were being hunted by an angry pilgrim.
That's correct. That is correct.
Or a hungry one. I shouldn't assume they were angry.
Brady, you need to get it, your creative juices flowing again. We need posters.
I was thinking about that the other day. I'd kind of like my creativity on my posters was squozen out, and I just felt like what wasn't holding up my end. So maybe I need to dabble into it again.
Yeah.
A little
showing
dabble,
off-
do you?
A little dab of Jabril cream. A little dab of it. So I'm showing off my shirt. I see Norse Up. Norse Up. Been some great people graduate from that school.
That's right.
Yeah.
Had this hoodie. Actually, I've had this hoodie since I went there.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Hoodie's about 12 years old at least.
What is it about hoodies? They are the most finely preserved specimens of anything in the wardrobe. I literally have hoodies older than my children, and they still look brand new.
I think it's because they're not worn year round.
That could be it. Unlike undergarments, when after 4 years there's like three threads holding the basket together, So it's, how that goes.
The banana boat, so to speak.
So to speak.
That old chestnut.
Todd, I'm not making it up. I about put as my tagline, instead of feeling supersonic, I about said I'm an old chestnut. I'm really not making that up.
Oh. Talk amongst yourselves. I gotta do something here.
Uh-oh. He's got to do something. So, welcome to our new Thanksgiving episode. Now, what we're going to try to do here, it's going to be Thanksgiving themed. So our two topics and possibly third, we haven't made up our minds yet. We'll see how long we're going here. But I do know that our opening two themes are Thanksgiving related, where Todd is going to take his rightful place as the slinger of food topics. And I'm going to kind of step into his role as the, the vice chairman of Today I Fouled Up Thanksgiving edition.
All right.
Is that it? And we're here to rock. Rhymes like ours could never be stopped. See, it's three of us, and I know we're fresh. Party rockers, non-stoppers, and our names are deaf. See, the J is for just, the other for jamming. The F is for fresh, A-N-D, deaf. Behind the turntables is DJ Train. Mixing and scratching is the name of the game. Now here's a little something about nosy people. It's not real.
Did she say something about ass scratching?
Baby D.
I don't think so.
No.
What is that?
Supersonic.
Here we go.
Supersonic.
Supersonic. Oh.
All right. We probably scared away anybody that was wanting to listen tonight.
Yeah, probably.
And I hate to disappoint you, Eric. This is going to be the double disappointment, but it was actually an Oasis reference, which is going to harsher mellow and
Get the crap out of here. That Supersonic is better than anything Oasis ever put.
Wasn't there another song? There was another Supersonic, but maybe I'm thinking of something
I
else.
think it's semisonic, maybe.
I don't remember that little beginning riff part.
I don't either. That's why I was lost.
I was a little lost.
Yeah. I thought for a moment I picked the wrong song there. See you jamming in the kitchen.
Jam on it.
Jamming in the kitchen. Jamming in the kitchen.
Wiggy, 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 wiggy.
Must be in the dark.
Hello, Gary. I remember to add a turkey to my Kroger order.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo. The wife was just at Kroger. I don't know if she bought a turkey or not.
James.
Hello, Jim.
Hi, May. He is here. Mr. Heron is in the house.
All right. Brady explained the episode to yous. Todd, I believe you're up.
All right. Well, like Brady said, I'm going back to the food, going back to what I do best, the food topics. And I have two different pages that I'm working from here. So I'm going to be flipping back and forth a little. And we've done this before. It never gets old. There will probably be some crossover. There will probably be some of these that maybe you remember. But this
Some
first list that I'm
Thanksgiving
going
leftovers, right?
No, this is 14 hilariously terrible Thanksgiving recipes that are so bad they're good.
Oh.
We'll see about that.
I just say, I will decide.
No one tells me it's good. I will decide.
First up, this was an ad. It looks like I can't tell the year. There's no year on it, but this was an ad for Hellman's, which right off the bat I know Brady's yakking.
Brady already turned up his nose.
It's weird how yellow Hellman's looked in the old ads. So this is
is it an actual picture or a drawing?
well, you could no, this is a picture. You could probably find it. It's exciting new cranberry surprise. Or cranberry surprise, depending on how you emphasize it.
With mayonnaise in it?
Well, so what this is, I'm trying to see the ad, because this is like an old advertisement. Cranberry holiday surprise. It's new and easy. Serve with your holiday turkey, ham, chicken, or any meal. This colorful salad blends the tartness of cranberries with the delicate creaminess of Hellman's real mayonnaise. A topping of Hellman's 2 provides the final distinctive flavor garnish. Yes, Cranberry Surprise is a delightfully tasty holiday treat and even easier to make than regular fruit gelatin salads.
Probably easier to pass too.
The correct term for
More
it,
than one way, I'm sure.
the correct term for it is cranberry souffle salad.
Sounds pretentious.
Yeah, you need it's too blurry for me to see the actual ingredients, but it looks just like these little like mounds of I don't know, cat vomit
Cat vomit.
that has
So-
been decorated with cranberries, and then they're putting a dollop of yellow Hellmann's on top of each one of them.
Gosh.
I don't know if can you see that?
I'm trying to unsee it.
Cranberry slurry prize. Cranberry.
Okay, so here's the deal. I think cranberries taste a little bit like morning mouth anyway. So when you just a little bit, there's that weird, unpleasant, a cranberry for the first bite is okay. Then all of a sudden it turns into something that I don't want it to be. And morning mouth is the most descriptive way I could do it. And then you add to that by putting mayonnaise in cranberry chunkage. I'm sure that's against some kind of Geneva Convention.
I don't mind like craisins, like the dried cranberries in my salads, but I don't like cranberries. We've talked about this. I don't like cranberry salad, that stuff that's shaped like the can when it flops out on the plate.
No, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
it's like when you it's like putting a gelatinous slinky on a plate. Like it just flops there and it kind of comes out a little bit and comes back. You know what I mean? Like the shape of a.
Oh yeah, you could
Or
even
slinky.
see like the reinforcement ribbage around
Yeah.
the middle of it where the can's been.
So number 2 on this list.
Hold on. Celia, are you poking fun here, or are you serious?
No, she's serious.
Never
She takes her
tried it.
cranberry salad and puts Miracle Whip on it right there in the plate in front of everyone and mixes it up and eats it.
That is vile.
I
mean,
can't believe she's not disinvited from the table. If you're gonna eat that over there.
Yeah.
Well,
Take that to the
you say you can't see the ingredients. I mean, what other ingredients do you need to hear other than cranberries and mayonnaise?
Well, they said it's easier than making a salad. I'm sure the preparation goes, and that's it.
A dollop. You got to dollop the mayonnaise.
Yeah. A little yellow dollop of mayonnaise. Next up, turkey cake. I like turkey. I like cake. I don't think I like turkey cake. I'm going to be honest what this is. This is like, it's called turkey cake, but here's what it looks like. It looks like it looks like an entire Thanksgiving meal in a cake form. So what I think I'm seeing here
Ugh.
is
Oh,
here. Okay, so picture it's got turkey in it. What the top layer is turkey. Well, no, I'm sorry. The top layer is sweet potatoes, and it's got the like marshmallows on top, like on sweet potatoes. So it's like a sweet potato and marshmallow icing, then a row of turkey or a layer of turkey, then a layer of mashed potatoes, then a layer of stuffing, then a layer of mashed potatoes, and another row of turkey is what it looks like, and then it's all icinged with mashed potatoes.
and it looks like a multi-level cake.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's
So
Can you
what is the
see that?
white ooze that's separating the layers?
mashed potatoes, I believe.
Oh God!
See, this one doesn't have any. This one doesn't have any explanation or anything. But my keen eye, that's what I'm seeing. And honestly, I like all of those things separately,
Yes,
but I don't want them touching. Not up against it or in it.
it's the very definition of up again and in it. It can't even say in it. It's just up again and is.
It's a part of it. Yeah, you're right. Up against it and is.
Yeah, it's kind of like those meatloaves, the igloo meatloaf things
Yeah,
that we've
I remember
discussed before. But it's just like all whipped into a cake.
I will go as far as to say, if you sawed off that top layer of sweet potato and marshmallows, if that was never on there and it was just icing with mashed potatoes, I would probably eat it because I don't mind my mashed potatoes and my meat touching, or my mashed potatoes and my stuffing touching.
But that whole construction there throws off.
The
It throws
food
off
ratio.
the ratio. But I mean, it's like when you're eating. We've talked about the green dessert. You're expecting lime, and you get
Pistachio.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let me rephrase that. If I knew what this was when I was eating it, and it was just icing with mashed potatoes, of course you'd have to have some gravy on top. I could eat it. When I say I don't like food, I don't mind. Like mashed potatoes can touch about anything that's not sweet. It can touch my bread. It can touch the turkey or the ham or whatever. It can touch green beans.
That's about the only food I'll allow.
I don't want it touching mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Mashed potato that doesn't bother me. But it's the sweet potatoes and marshmallows on top that just completely.
Actually, mashed potatoes and corn mixed up is very tasty.
Now, see, I don't like. For some reason, I'm weird about my corn. I don't like it mixed up. I don't like corn. Here's what I don't like. I don't want my corn to look like an accident. I don't want it to be like, oh, yeah. Like you ever order something that doesn't have corn in it and it's got an ear or a kernel of corn in it? Like, where'd that come from?
Corn
I
always
don't like that.
Corn always looks the same.
No, I know, but
where
I'm
it
saying, like,
appears.
but I like it in a pile separate from the rest of the food. I don't like it mixed in. Like those KFC bowls,
Oh yeah.
I don't get them because I don't want corn in it.
Well, and I agree. Don't presume to assume that I want a pea or a corn. Just
There you go.
like, oh, what was it? There was some pasta dish. It was a pasta bake, and it called for peas in it. I'm like, no, that's not where they go. They go on the side,
Pasta
but they do
and
not go
peas?
in.
Well, now it's funny you say that because I don't like peas. I always say vegetable soup is I don't mind peas and veg because they're snappy. I don't like them when they're mushy. But
Yeah.
we had a HelloFresh meal this week.
Fresh.
That was a tortellini, like a cheese stuffed tortellini,
Yeah.
and some sort of sauce, and it had peas in it, and it was good. The peas, like, they worked in that combination, and they were crunchy like vegetable soup. They were a little bit
Yeah.
had a pop to them.
This will simplify it. I want my peas Kelly green. If they're army green, I shan't eat them.
Now, I don't want them so dark that they're like raw. Kind
No,
of like
but-
green beans. I don't like those green beans that you can hear yourself chewing them. I
Oh,
like my
yeah,
green beans
yeah.
soft.
Green beans
but-
taste like dirt.
Tastes like dirt.
Dirt.
All right, Rudy.
All right. we got comments. I didn't know if you were getting ready to go.
No, that's fine.
But Celie says, "Don't knock that cranberries with Miracle Whip until you try it."
I'm pretty sure I
not
have
try
tried
it.
it.
I will knock
Knocking.
it.
I'm
I will
knocking.
not try it
I'm pretty sure I took a bite of it once.
once. So there's a story behind this comment Jim makes. So we were in a meeting today, and the food service director said, "We're having our Thanksgiving dinner today." And she goes down through the list, the usual turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, whatever. And then she says, "And a turkey cookie." Like, is that like cookie made out of turkey or
A
a
turkey
turkey
shape.
shaped? It was a turkey shaped cookie. Thankfully, no turkey cookie, and then you put up that turkey cake. Nasty. Josh, welcome, Josh.
Welcome,
Turkey
Josh.
cake is
Hey, Josh.
similar to the barbecue parfait Tater Patch food truck serves. Parfait screams dessert. I do not want anything with barbecue in it called a parfait. He also says KFC bowls are the best. I've never had one of those KFC bowls. I think I'd be all right with them.
I've ordered them sans corn.
Sans.
Just
So do
On
they-
the corn.
Do they mix them up while you're there, or are they pre-mixed?
what are you talking
So-
about?
So if you say I want mine sans corn, do they have to make you up a new one, or do they
Oh,
make them all made to order?
I've never watched them make them, but I know I've ordered them without corn. Actually, Ponderosa has them, and they're fantastic. But man, you pick one up, they weigh about 8 pounds. You pick the ones up at Ponderosa, you definitely get
Also
your
in
money's worth.
Also in your gullet. 8 pounds. Gary, don't presume to assume what I'll consume. Precisely.
Yes.
All right, number 3 on this list. Coke salad. Coke salad.
Courtesy of
This-
the Medellin cartel.
This again, I wish they put recipes on because I can't tell what it. It's definitely has some cranberries in it. I can tell that. I don't know what you do with the Coke. Like, but it is a what do you call that? It's a bunt or like a Jello ring or whatever.
Abundant cake.
It's an O-ring.
Yeah,
Very sphincter-like in appearance.
like a prolapse. Coke salad. I'm assuming that you before you mold it, you pour Coke in with the ingredients. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, it's like the sweetener. It's sweetened with Coke.
Now, I know Celia would eat this because it looks like it has, like I said, it's just a form of cranberry salad, but you use Coke. So not much to say about that because it doesn't tell me much. But the next one,
All right, hold on. You said what do you do with the Coke?
oh, have you looked it up?
Oh, I see where this is going.
Ba-doom, 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 ba-doom. Ba-doom, 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 ba-doom. Ba-doom, 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 ba-doom.
We are not condoning this behavior.
Going to get us canceled.
Gonna kids it gets canceled.
It will most certainly get us a copyright violation on you.
Yes.
This next one
Don't freeze.
doesn't even make sense.
Don't rock
pizza.
when you freeze. That's why.
Pizza with gravy.
Ugh.
What's that have to do with Thanksgiving?
Gravy.
Rabies.
It says it's just a paper plate with a slab of pizza and brown gravy on it. I don't quite know.
Sounds like more of like a night before Thanksgiving meal.
I would try it just because I like gravy and I like pizza.
I can't imagine the tomato sauce and the brown gravies getting along. They would fight in my world.
Fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think the premises behind this website is these are the things people have tried. I don't think these are like classic. These aren't like well known. Like this one here, Powerade basted turkey, and all they did was literally baste a turkey with Powerade, so it's like a purplish green
What
turkey.
flavor?
It looks like whatever turquoise flavoring it. And I can't see the bottles close enough to see the flavor.
Turquoise flavor.
Turquoise.
Now, here's the thing, though. Other than the color, that maybe wouldn't be bad. How would if you didn't know it was in there? I mean, there's
Are
all
you
kinds
saying
of
without
things.
the color?
Well, I mean, there's all kinds like people use like Dr. Pepper and Coke for all kinds of basting things when it comes to meats, hams, and pork and things like that.
I don't.
But
think
usually
I
don't
would
hear with turkey.
I don't want it day glow turquoise. That would be off-putting.
Well, that's what I mean. But I'm wondering if it weren't for the color of it.
Okay. I see what you mean. Yeah.
If it would taste okay. However, I will say this: I like my ham sweet. I like roses are red. Football is neat. I like my pork and my ham sweet.
Oh.
But I do not like my turkey sweet. Would you agree that turkey is not a meat that you want sweet?
Well, I don't, but I do know that people love it with that cranberry marmalade and all that kind of stuff that they.
people put cranberries on it.
Yeah.
So
Not me.
But they put cranberries on it because turkey in general is not a sweet meat. It's a very middle of the road. I don't know what you call it.
It's a very proteiny
Yeah,
taste.
it's salty. Now I put Miracle Whip on my turkey sandwiches the next day, which puts a little sweet to it.
Yeah,
Puts a little
that's
something
good.
into
That's
it.
good.
Anyway,
So Celia says she would totally make a pizza with leftovers. No pizza sauce, just the gravies.
well, first off,
Pizza
dear,
sauce.
my dear,
Here.
you have done that, so I know you would. She's made Thanksgiving leftover pizza before, didn't you? You
Like
did something one year with
are-
the leftovers.
Are the dinner rolls the crust, or do you just use a
I don't-
pizza crust?
Just a pizza crust with brown
I don't-
gravies and diced turkeys and
I don't remember what she did, but it was pretty good. I mean, it was an interesting way to eat leftovers. All right, canned cranberry sauce. I still don't quite understand how you can call it sauce when it's a solid.
It's more like gel.
Canned cranberry sauce with pineapple and olives. So what they have here is a plate with a formation, a round, a circle made out of the canned cranberry. So just picture a plate, and they just plopped out about 8 canned cranberries and put them in a circle. Put a toothpick on top of them with an olive, and then laid a slice of grilled pineapple on top of it. A round of pineapple, if you will.
I will tell you what that is. That is somebody that wants to look like they know what they're doing culinary wise, but it's like plop, open the can, stick an olive on. I mean, that's like I don't know. That's just like
I don't know where the olives come in. You know what I mean? Like I could see the pineapple and the cranberry working together, I guess.
Olives should never come into anything.
no.
Yeah. But you know what this reminds me of when I first look at it? Those little round things of caps for like the cap guns.
Yeah.
The little red plastic. That's what that reminds me
Yes,
of.
yes. Well, I mean, I think you could swap out anything. The olive. There's a bunch of things that you could skewer with a toothpick on top of that cranberry sauce tower, whether it be a cocktail weenie or a cocktail onion, or anything that
That's
comes
no
out
better
of.
than an olive.
Well, no, it's not. But anything a maraschino cherry,
Now,
anything
yeah.
that's canned and preserved and pickled can be taken out of a can and impaled by a toothpick.
How would you go about consuming that?
You, from the side, you'd have to come in from the side of it.
Like
you
a
couldn't-
raptor.
Yeah, I think you'd have to eat. You'd have to eat from the side, knock the tower down a little bit, and then use a
Well,
fork on the pineapple
It's
slice.
like food Jenga. Like who's gonna be the last one that gets that
Finger.
little scoop out of the middle
Finger.
finger? Don't use your finger.
Well,
Man, use your finger to eat that.
Here's what you do: you got to pull the toothpick out. You got to eat the olive. Then you have to chop up your tower of cranberry sauce along with your pineapple.
Okay, so here's the deal: is this meant to? Does everybody have their own individual tower? 'Cause that seems really excessive. Because everybody gets their own serving and can, or does it look like it's been bisected by the rings?
No, I mean it's a whole can. Well, I see what you're saying. Maybe they've cut them in half.
Yeah,
This might not be as tall as what we. It's hard to tell
I mean,
from that angle.
I'm not being facetious. I could dump a thing of wet dog food that holds that same shape and put a begging strip on a toothpick right on the top.
Yeah. Well, here's what I think. Now, if I like this flavor combination, let's just pretend I do, and I don't. I would start. Why wouldn't you start with a nice base of another pineapple of another baked or grilled pineapple round? Then you kind of got a sandwich. In fact, that's what you should do with this thing. You slice the canned cranberry into about, I don't know, about an inch, and you put a top bun and a bottom bun of grilled pineapple, and you eat it like a sandwich.
You fillet the can of cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go one better. What if you take the entire can of cranberry sauce and put it in a deep fryer, and it'll come out a crispy brown thing, and somebody can just bite into it, and it's nothing but cranberry. Isn't that disturbing?
The problem with this is by the time you eat that, you're going to look like you murdered someone. There's going to be shrapnel and shards of cranberry sauce and pineapple and olive. There's no way to eat that without making a mess.
No.
Yeah, that just sounds terrible.
So Celia says olives and cranberries, that's a line I wouldn't even cross.
Yeah.
Someone who eats mayonnaise and cranberries.
sure.
That's
There's
a big
not many-
statement there.
There are not many lines when it comes to the food world that she won't cross. So that's saying something.
John, welcome.
John.
John.
That's right. Vinyl Countdown #1 fan. He drives the farthest.
Furthest.
Farthest. Who knows?
Gary
This
says,
next one, fellas. Oh, sorry.
replace the cranberry sauce with potted meats and you got yourself a meal.
Well, at that point, Gary, you got to replace the pineapple with something else, though. Like maybe some cheese.
Shoe leather, because that sounds like something Boxcar Willie consumed on his way around the country. And he carried it with a stick on a bandana, like that is the definition of hobo food.
Don't bring Boxcar Bill into it.
Boxcar William and his
Wilhelm. The next one, Spam and Limas. It's
Oh, Lord.
for people that hate you.
No kidding. Man, you invite
Says
someone
make-
over to Thanksgiving, you give them that?
This is also like an old advertisement from Hormel. Spam and Limas. Now here's what it says: make a Spanish. Spanish
Spanish.
Spanish rice.
I think it might be Spanish. I can't tell. It's written in cohesive. Make a Spanish sauce of canned tomatoes, chopped onion. Boy, they missed an opportunity to call that Spanish. Make a Spanish sauce of canned tomatoes, chopped onions, green peppers, and celery leaves. Out with you.
Celery.
With a little salt, sugar, lard. Add to fresh or frozen pre-cooked limas in casserole. Partly bake 8 or 10 slices of Spam on top. Garnish with pimento squares and bake 25 minutes at 350.
Holy Lord. This sounds like a concoction of Sardinia Elementary lunches all thrown together.
No, all the concentration camp guards, when they escaped and became cooks, that's what they came up with. It's terrible.
Just throw some stewed tomatoes in there and you'd have the whole shebang.
Oh yeah. Now I would much if I could compare Spam and Limas, give me Treat and Great Northern any day, and I'd be a fan of that. Or
Baby bean and treat.
Treat and butter beans. I like butter beans.
That-
Cold or
that
hot,
might-
Spam hits the spot.
Yeah, the spot right on the floor by the corner in the toilet.
Meat or feet? Have yourself some treat. Let's see here. This thing. Never mind. See, I don't like lima beans. I like them. I can eat one if they're warm. I don't like them cold.
So what's the difference between a lima bean, a Great Northern bean, and a butter bean? Because they all look the same to me.
Lima beans are green. Butter beans are white. They are
I don't
shaped
think I knew
similar.
that.
Yeah. Well, Eric, look it up, Eric. You got the internet. Can you pull it up?
I got it.
Great
There's
Northern.
not many beans I won't eat, but a lima is one of them.
Great Northern and butter beans are both white, or on the pale side.
And then a lima bean's greenish.
Pallid.
It's like the color of a 70s Nova.
Ugh,
Nasty.
nasty.
Baby. What's next, Todd?
I was waiting for Eric to look
Oh,
up.
okay. There's informational. You tune in here for the education. What is the difference between a lima, a butter bean, and a
Great Northern.
There's a can of
Yeah,
There's
great.
best Great Northern beans.
So they're whitish.
and there's a
Off
lima.
whitish.
Now that Great Northern looks a little more like a regular like kidney bean or something, but white. I think what's the other ones we're talking about?
Butter beans.
Butter beans. Yeah,
And lima.
butter beans are bigger, I think. Pull up that Del Monte, if you will.
If you will. That's but that's one of those things, kind of like, there is not many people that like a lima bean. That's one of those things like liver that's pretty much universally reviled.
Okay, what's the other one I said?
Great Northern. No, you did Great Northern.
Butter bean. No,
Butter beans seem to always have a little more use around them. They're always floating.
Of course, I search out butter bean. It comes
Is
out
that boxer?
The boxer. Don't want him in the soup. But
I gotta pluralize that.
Watch it just be two butter beans standing next to each other boxing.
No, I got it here.
Got it.
I got it.
got it.
Got it. Let's see it.
What does it look like?
Out with it.
Caribbean beans.
See, they're a little more buttery.
Now the sharing buttercream.
I have never heard of that brand. Caribbean Rhythms. There's a
Butterbean. When you're eating them, you have to chew on 2 and 4 instead of 1 and 3.
Those look like wet cashew nuts.
You are correct. Now, see, the butterbean looks way less palatable than the Great Northern.
Well,
Great source of dietary fibers.
I don't think that's.
I imagine it is.
I don't think the Caribbean Rhythm people chose the best picture of butter beans.
Caribbean beans.
So this next one's kind of dumb. It looks like somebody had the idea of taking their gravy and their salad dressings, like blue cheese, that shows the example, and putting them in spray bottles. And that's how they put their gravy in their. Now, let's just say, like Celia, for instance, when she eats a salad, she keeps the dressing in like whatever the little carrying bin for the dressing that comes out in, like the little bowl or whatever, and she dips every bite of her salad into the dressing. The healthy way to eat salads. I'm the type that says, bring me 3 extra dressings, and I just drown my salad in the dressing. So I can see if you're trying to control your dressing serving size, like putting in misting it, because they had those. Remember those salad sprays they had for a while there?
Salad spritzers.
Spritzers, yeah. That's kind of what they've made. But now gravy, I would think you'd plug up your sprayer hole.
Your spray hole.
Yeah.
just like gravy does to something else. Scott Boone, welcome.
Scott
Boone.
Says lima beans are the color of my mom's Comet that embarrassed me so badly because of the color. I always made her drop me off before she got to Sardine Elementary so no one would see me getting out of the car. Scott, why is your mom dropping you off at Sardine Elementary? It's like 2/10 of a mile from your house.
On those cold, rainy days.
Well, you know what? Your mother was probably embarrassing you for a reason, because she said, get your butt up out there and walk. So I'm going to take you in this car here and embarrass you.
When did people stop making green cars, though? Like, it seems like so many people have a story about an old lima bean green car. Or, Eric, wasn't your first car green, Eric?
Yes, mine.
It was.
Pontiac Catalina Puke Green, seated 17 comfortably, and turned into a Land Rover when you hit about
When you raise the
96
mainsail
miles an hour.
to the jib.
Yeah. Awesome. I wish I had that car.
Next up, guys, we got one of those frozen-looking gelatinous. It's shrimp and Jell-O salad.
Oh, come on!
Yeah, and it's just a mound of shrimp within a gelatin mold.
Somebody went right to the bait and tackle store, froze it, and that's what it was. They're fooling everybody. That's bait. That's called bait.
So, okay, so someone just brings that to the Thanksgiving dinner as a joke.
You think so?
Like, hello.
Sorry.
Hello. You think so, Eric?
Yeah, they bring it as a joke and thinking, okay, we'll see who eats this. See if anyone dares.
Here's the grossest part to me looking at it. It seems to be no flavored Jell-O. It's just a clear. It's like they made a Jell-O out of the the Vienna sausage slime. Like they just collected it for like 6 months of Vienna sausage slime in a bowl, and then formed it into a Jello mold.
And come to think that you could not have made that any more unpalatable, and then you bring out the Vienna sausage gel. Of course, Brady's had no gel because they were cooked. But
That's right. It fried the gel right off of them. The next one's turkey on Jello. And we've talked about this before. What was the infatuation with Jello back in the 70s and early 80s? Everything was Jello.
Jello was a sweet treat that was fairly inexpensive.
I'm gonna this right here. It is literally a Jello mold with just a bunch of diced up turkey laying on top of it.
What? Why? I mean, what's the purpose of that?
Look, it does appear to have some things floating inside of the Jello mold. Like those could be peaches. Those could be
Carrots.
They could be olives.
Yeah, gosh, no, they're not olives. They're orange. I think it's either peaches, pears, carrots, maybe pineapple. But they're
Probably
definitely yellowish.
All the above.
It could be. The only thing that would make that worse if was some shredded cheese on top. And that sounds weird because I love. And Scott, I know if you're listening.
Scott is a cheese connoisseur.
Yeah, but there's you can't take Jello and put cheese on it and save it. There's lots of things you can put cheese on and save, but not Jello.
No. Scott's, by the way, says Mom only took him on super cold and rainy days. And Gary says shrimp and lima bean salad.
Ugh.
Nasty.
Eric, this one is you have to look this up, Eric, and see if you can't show these guys a picture of this because this is holiday vegetable loaf.
Oh Lord.
It's easy to make. Let's see.
Sounds like Meatloaf's vegan cousin, the performer. Vegetable
it's
loaf.
Holiday
Live at
vegetable
Lilith
loaf.
Fair.
I can't even tell what I'm looking at here.
Is it disturbing or just
well,
incomprehensible?
It is a loaf of meat that I assume is turkey. It has a moat of mashed potatoes around it. Looks like it has some chopped tomatoes laid on top of it.
Oh, Lord.
That's not what I'm looking at, but my gosh. That just looks like fruitcake. Fruitkwak. Gotta be careful.
That's not making a mistake.
Sometimes you go to the well one too many times.
Gives us another violation on
Yes.
YouTube.
I was trying the old Miatlawaf and it didn't quite work out. So I'm sorry for you listeners out there that are offended. That's what I have is an old advertisement like out of a magazine. And it's, I see some broccoli garnish. You see it?
Yeah.
I don't know what the...
From an aerial view, it looks more dessert-like, but the closer you got to it and started smelling the meats and vegetables, the more off-putting it would be.
Yeah. Ugh. Ugh. Next, we have somebody made...
Here we go. Here, I got it. Give you a better look at it.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. What are those things on the end, the rounds? Is that cranberry?
I bet it is.
Well, they got turkey. It's like turkey silhouettes in them.
Oh, I see that. That's fancy.
Oh, that is fancy.
What do you want to bet is Jello?
Probably.
There's always room for Jello.
And
what are those things?
The red balls. What are those?
Yeah, that's
radishes.
They look like Pops. Radishes. What's the unnecessary broccoli doing around it? I mean, just
garnish.
It's conjoining with the unnecessary kale leaf or lettuce leaf or arugula that's on the side of it there.
No, that's broccoli.
All about the presentation.
That's all that green is broccoli.
No, the right. Okay, because it looked. Yeah, I could tell that the right side was broccoli, but it looked like the left was just green
it might
leaf.
Be. Let me look on mine here.
So the edge of that is mashed taters. Is that what that is?
Yeah. No, it's broccoli, Brady. You can see the stems, like the.
Yeah. I just thought it was really veiny lettuce. Maxwell, hello.
Next up, somebody made Thanksgiving sushi. Now, I can't, since there's no words to go with it, I would try this again if it were kind of like what Celia was talking about. If you just took your Thanksgiving leftovers and you just made them in like a roll,
Sushi-fied them.
sushi-fied them. That wouldn't be too bad, maybe.
Thanksgiving sushi would have to be haddock or cod because that's what they caught off of Plymouth Rock.
Cad.
Now, I don't know why this next one's even on the list because
Well,
it looks
I-
glorious.
I've got a comment to put up
Go ahead.
here. John, welcome. Referring to the vegetable loaf, is that what it was? Nuclear war. The only thing that survives is that nasty stuff and cockroaches. True.
And there
true
might be some
that.
cockroaches in that.
True.
Some cack-ratches.
Cackle.
This next one looks glorious to me. I have no idea why it's on this list. It's Twinkie casserole. And it literally just looks like somebody made a Twinkie cake. I mean, I have no problem with that.
I could get behind a casserole like that.
Here's what it looks like.
I'll
It looks
allow it.
like it looks like they took a casserole dish, filled it with Twinkies side by side, touching each other, and then icing it. Well, baked it or something, and then icing. I don't know if they baked it or what, but there is a sheen of icing on top of it. Now, the type of icing would matter,
Yeah.
but you could almost go chocolate, white, maybe even a strawberry icing
I'll tell you what I do with it.
or a cherry icing.
I would cut those Twinkies in half, and then in between, I would put some Niller or Nanner pudding in between it, and then put the icing on it.
Oh, don't forget the wafers. You got to put the vanilla wafers on there too, Brady.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Well, the next, I got a little time here. I'll go to the next. This next list I'm going to skip around because this isn't list form. What this is, these are user or whatever you want to call it, like user submitted creations that their family makes. The first one on here is right up your alley, Eric and Brady both. They make something called a seafoam salad. And they have the recipe here. It has some lime jello, some pears, cream cheese. See, jello and cream cheese probably don't belong in the same dish.
No, they don't.
But here's what it is looking like. It's honestly it's an
It's an attractive looking
Yeah.
salad.
yeah, it's you can't quite tell, but it kind of looks like about the same color Incredible Hulk look on old TVs, like
Yeah.
that faded green.
Yeah, like that almost looks like it could be the grout of a 70s bathroom.
Yeah, yeah.
Salad. There's that word. I have an issue with that word. Not a salad.
Yeah, I don't know what you would call this. Like, I can't tell from it. It actually might not be that bad, to be honest with you. The cream cheese probably just kind of holds it together. This person says, my aunt makes her fruit cakes by taking several boxes of graham crackers, tossing them in a clean, hefty garbage bag, and driving over the bag repeatedly with her car to crush. So that is their family tradition. Now, I guess I don't quite understand where she goes from there, and it doesn't say.
All right, so here's the danger of the seafoam salad. Do you have cream cheese in there, or are you hit with college cheese? Because you get some of those desserts that have college cheese in them. That is disgusting.
Well, I am a fan of college cheese, you know that, but I don't like it as a dessert filler.
No, you like it with coleslaw on it.
Coleslaw, yeah. By the way, the title of the heading here says people share 30 weird Thanksgiving recipes that their families refuse to abandon. So we're going to get kind of a hodgepodge here. This person says fried chicken livers. No, I don't want fried chicken livers for Thanksgiving or ever, unless I'm fishing for catfish. I don't want chicken livers.
Because I know what a liver does. That's why I won't eat one.
We've seen this before, fellas. The bologna cake
Yeah.
Yes. Ugh.
with ranch cream cheese icing.
For those of you at home, I made a face of revulsion that could not be duplicated unless I was really feeling it in my soul.
It truly came from the heart.
This doesn't sound bad. Corn spoon bread. It says a can of corn, can of creamed corn, stick of butter, 8 ounces of sour cream, package of cornbread mix, bake for an hour. That doesn't sound bad at all.
You had me till you got to that sour cream mix.
But you wouldn't know it was in there. I
Then why
guarantee
put
you.
it in there? Okay, then go without it.
I
I'm fine with
guarantee you
that.
the sour cream.
If
fancy
if
yourself
I'm
a
not
chef.
going to notice, it doesn't need to be in there. So there.
That's a
Creamed
perfect example
Gatorade.
of not knowing how the kitchen works, Brady. People use sour cream for all kinds of things that you don't even know it's in there because it does something. I don't know.
I
It holds it
smell it.
together, or you can't smell it.
Oh, I can smell it a mile away.
Reminds person I work with one year, somebody had a dessert they brought in, and the person I was staying, they were eating up, loving it. Like an hour later, they found out it had cream cheese and they wouldn't eat it again. That's you, Brady. They were just destroying it, and when they found out it had cream cheese, they stopped eating it. That's you.
No, the cream cheese, it could be snuck in by me. Sour cream ain't
No.
gonna get by me.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't even like sour cream icings on cakes and stuff? And cookies?
No, because it's sour. It's spoiled milk in a cake.
No, this kind of sounds to me like the corn. It just sounds like cornbread, like a some sort of fancy cornbread mix. I don't know why they call it spoon bread. I guess you eat it with a spoon. So it's like corn casserole or creamed corn or something.
Corn
Scalloped.
pudding.
Scalloped corn without the cheese.
And corn pudding.
Scalloped.
This person says my ex-husband's aunt made a black cherry jello with cherries inside. I didn't realize her secret twist was to pit the cherries and replace with walnuts. The first time I bit into one, I thought I shattered my molars. No one warned me.
That is kind of cruel.
How many people unknowingly spit the walnut out because they assumed they were eating the spit? I mean, the pit.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. Last night, I was watching TV and I took a big old drink of my water, and I was down to like swallowing the last little bit of water. There was something firm in it, and I like panicked and I spit it out. It was a damn ladybug had gotten in my water somehow, and I almost swallowed it. And instantly, as soon as I spit it all out, and so the water was out of my mouth, instantly started tasting one of the nastiest tastes I've ever tasted. Don't eat a ladybug, guys.
Well, don't we all swallow like 500 spiders a year or something?
I would like to think if you swallowed a ladybug, for as bad as it tasted, you would wake up. It was bad. It was pungent.
I've had a ladybug in my mouth.
Probably one of those Japanese faux ladybug stink beetles that.
I don't know. This person says not a dish, but my grandma was big on serving lime sherbet and 7-Up. I remember people making that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that was good stuff. That was just like popular at weddings.
Yeah.
Well, are you thinking of that, or like the punch that?
That's what I was kind of thinking. Yeah, this
that might
was
be what
ice
this
cream and
is.
7-Up.
And nothing better than that punch if you can get there early when they just first put the sherbet on it.
Yeah,
Get yourself a scoop full of sherbet in the cup.
and only a little bit of froth. Yeah.
This next one, boys. Have you ever been somewhere for Thanksgiving and you get you a big old bite of what you think is stuffing, and it turns out to be oyster dressing? Well,
Thankfully,
this
I've
looks
never
like-
had oyster dressing.
this looks like it could happen kind of similar, but what does that look like when you first look at it? To me, it looks like macaroni and cheese, like shell macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, I could see
Like,
that.
yeah.
You know what it is?
Oyster
Pearl
Rockefeller.
onions and cream sauce.
Why? Why?
I don't know.
I'm going to make a dish that is repugnant in every way, and not only is going to smell like spoiled dairy product, but it's going to smell like BO and pickle juice. And there you have those darn pearl onions.
B.O. and pickle juice.
Well, I thought pearl onions were strictly for like flavoring. You know what I mean? Like you just put them in a crock pot of meat or something and just let the pearl onions soak in there with it. I didn't know you actually.
I thought all they were for is to put them in martinis.
Yeah. Cocktail onions.
When I started dating my husband, his mom made frog eye salad. I was sure this is made up, but I found it all over Google. Eric, if you want to look it up here, it's
Is that
pearl
tapioca?
pasta. It's pearl pasta, Cool Whip, egg white, pineapple juice, mandarin oranges, coconut flakes. They had me until the coconut flakes
Yeah.
and marshmallow.
So that's
It
just one of those
honestly
things
doesn't-
that's goop.
It doesn't look bad, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um,
I would eat that.
Eric will have to pull up a better picture of it if he can find one.
I got it. I got it.
It's just one of those goopy marshmallow salads. Yeah, that's fluff of some kind.
You get in there real close and look at the pores on that bad boy. Like it's dotty.
Yeah.
What's making that? What's making the dots?
I find that kind of
Yeah.
dubious. Kind of dubious to me.
Can you go back to that first picture you had?
Yeah.
And
What
zoom
are
in
those
real-
dots? It just
Yeah.
might be.
It looks like tapioca kind of when you look closely at the little dots.
It does. Something's giving out some carbon dioxide and that causing those air
Would that be
pockets.
what is pearl pasta?
I have no idea. Here, I'll look it up. I have no idea what pearl pasta is.
This comment doesn't sound that bad or much different from an ambrosia or Waldorf salad.
Make a wish, baby.
Yes.
Oh, gag a maggot.
It's exactly pearl pasta is exactly what it says. Like it's just these tiny, tiny little pasta bits, like
Huh.
yeah, like
Well,
rice-sized
looked a lot-
pasta.
It looked a lot like what'd you say earlier?
Tapioca.
Tapioca is what it looked like.
Yeah.
This next
What?
one is the stuff of nightmares.
Oh no.
This person's grandma, it says she had zero cooking skills. She used to make this every holiday. While I miss her presence at the table, I'm definitely happy we don't have to pretend to enjoy this abomination anymore. It is magic tomato soup cake.
Ugh.
And the picture's in black and white, thankfully. How can tomato soup make a good cake?
It can't. It's a lie. She was a Russian plant.
It has chocolate frosting.
Oh, Lord.
2 tablespoons of butter or margarine, 1 cup of sugar. It's got some cake flour, some clove, cinnamon, and nutmeg, 1 can of tomato soup, and 1 teaspoon of soda. That's the cake part. You got to grease that loaf pan.
Grease it.
Gosh, I wish if anybody's listening, have you ever heard of that? Has anybody ever made that?
I think it was from Tales from the Crypt. It was on there. Be something
Now-
horrible.
Oh, gosh. Ooh, is that it? It
That
actually
is it. That-
doesn't
It looks
look
like
bad.
carrot cake.
But it doesn't taste like carrot cake.
Oh, gosh.
That's just horrible. See that it almost looks like a pumpkin bread, and somebody's gonna eat that thinking they're getting some delicious Thanksgiving pumpkin bread. They're like, "Hey, why does this taste like? Why does this taste like tomatoes and a train yard?" And that is hobo food, also.
Oh, no food.
This seems simple. Canned asparagus, cream cheese, and ham slices. You spread the cream cheese on a ham slice, then put an asparagus spear in the middle and roll it, then eat it.
And then you spear my eye out so I don't have to eat it. Oh, it's
Oh.
terrible.
Shrimp aspic, lemon jello, tomato juice, onion, celery, black olives, some spices, and of course shrimp.
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 Here you go, Eric. Cottage cheese jello salad. All you need is a container of cottage cheese, any flavor of jello powder, pineapple, and cherries.
Gross.
All right. And that is the end of our gross Thanksgiving lists. A lot of
Disinvite.
jello based
They
dishes.
usually are. They usually
And
are.
honestly, tonight didn't have as many of the typically it's you guys gagging and me thinking I would probably try it. There are only about 2 of them the whole night that I think I would try.
So let's say we hit the mother load there of foods you wouldn't try.
Yeah.
I bet Celia would though.
Oh, she would.
Yeah, that's even pushing like somebody who's they're just talking smack like, "Well, I'll try that. I'll eat anything," and then secretly they're dying inside. You know, that's what those do.
The Twinkie casserole, whatever. That definitely
Oh yeah.
try that.
Yeah, and then, of the questionable stuff, the one I would have probably come close to eating is that thing we said looked like tapioca.
Yeah,
that
I would eat
might have
that.
been okay.
Well, I would leave out the coconut shards. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I just don't understand the idea of putting pasta in a dessert.
I don't either. I think I would leave that out and substitute it with something else, desserty.
I think
not
I think
that.
I would try tapioca.
Yeah,
You never
something
had
do that.
tapioca?
Huh?
You never had tapioca?
No, I'm saying I think I would replace the whatever the pasta like you're talking with tapioca. It would still give it that look.
I mean,
Still look like Frog Eyes.
stuff looks like tapioca.
Yeah.
What would
that it
like you'd be
does.
putting tapioca in tapioca.
Well, but what I'm saying, the pasta is what makes the little dots like tapioca. So if you took those out and replaced it with tapioca, is what I'm saying.
What are tapioca dots? What is that?
I'm still
know.
not sure.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's a mystery.
What is while we're transitioning
somebody-
to Brady's? I'll look it up.
So yeah, someone needs to look that up. Visit our website, playitbyyourpodcast.com. Check out facts about our show. Order yourself a nice soft t-shirt.
Soft.
Soft.
A tapioca pearl, also known as a tapioca ball or starch balls, is an edible, translucent sphere product from tapioca, a starch made from the cassava root.
Is that like dough ball?
They originate as a cheaper alternative to sago in Southeast Asian cuisine. When used as an ingredient in bubble tea, they are most commonly referred to as pearls or boba. I didn't know that's what they used in boba drinks.
I didn't either. So you're drinking tapioca
I guess so.
eyeballs in your boba tea.
Randallin loves boba,
Boba.
but
All
So
right,
are you-
Brady.
are you ready for some cringiness? So, Todd usually does this topic, but I decided to hijack it. This is from the Reddit, the subreddit. Today I fouled up. TIFU.
It's not really what the F stands for, but
Yes.
you can use your imagination.
But the glory of this one is these are today I fouled up Thanksgiving edition. So these are all Thanksgiving themed. So are you ready for this first poor unfortunate soul that fouled up Thanksgiving in their mind?
Absolutely.
This poor soul.
I was hoping you did it, Todd. I threw that out there.
His genitals dined on by cats.
Faces of Death reference for those who are not. in
Yeah.
tune.
Okay, so this is today I fouled up by maybe accidentally inviting my plumber over for Thanksgiving.
Well,
So
good to be proactive.
yes.
Yeah, right.
Took me
That was a
second.
slow one.
Slow burn.
Yeah. My plumber is a really nice guy with a heart of 24 karat gold. None of that 18 karat, but 24 karat gold. I've
Indeed.
actually started smiling when I clog the toilet because it means he's coming over with his Italian accent, his arcane sense of humor. Last time, as he walked in and saw my ceramic cactus sculpture, he remarked,
Oh, it's a real. Okay, is that a euphemism?
"What?
Is that a
I was gonna say,
euphemism? Like
is that
ceramic
what-
No,
cactus?
literal ceramic cacti."
Oh.
We'll say, is that what clogged the toilet?
I was going to say, you see how I got there? It's talking about smiling when you clog the toilet, and then mention a ceramic
Cacti
toilet
sculpture.
crack. Yeah.
Yesterday, but he said, I guess of all the people in our lives, for whatever reason, this person just brings me joy because they're amusing and fun to be around. Yesterday, as he fixed my sink, we had one of the most, this is so weird, just the choices, intimate conversation ever. I told him about my family history of alcoholism, and he opened up about his ex-wife was supposed to join him in the States a few years back, but instead fell in love with another man. He lived alone here while all of his family is still in Italy. So, and he just had a major falling out with one of his best friends. After he was done working, I opened a bottle of tequila and we kept taking shots and talking until we were beyond messed up. At one point, I guess I felt really bad about his situation, so I invited him to Thanksgiving dinner, and he began to weep. We hugged and he told me he appreciated so much. He took 3 more shots and he drove home. Good gosh. My wife was already displeased to come home to find me drunk on a Sunday with the plumber. And it was Thanksgiving. She was trying to prepare for Thanksgiving dinner. She went off. We've only been married a few months. This is going to be our first Thanksgiving as a family. Her parents and siblings are coming over, and it's a huge deal for her. She really wants to prove that she is a capable adult hostess. Now, I have to call him or something and let him know that he can't come. She says absolutely no Italian plumber at the family Thanksgiving. And that was going to shatter my heart and make his next house call very awkward. I might polish off the tequila nut tonight and send him a text or something. My palms are really sweaty as I type.
You might have already said this, and it doesn't really matter. Is this a male or a female?
The dude's a male. And his wife is displeased.
Okay, so I did. Okay, I missed. Okay, because I got you. I got you.
So my question is, let me pose this to you two. How many visits have you had from a plumber, say, in the last 5 years?
1. And that was to install my new sump pump.
I mean, if you're having so many problems, you get that close to your plumber, you might want to look into moving,
or at least get some
your
infrastructure upgrade,
changing your diet,
or eating more fiber,
or maybe it's one of those old, with the septic tank where they don't let you flush the toilet tissue, where there's a trash receptacle for it. Maybe it's just delicate pipes.
You have a Brady doll.
I do.
I say he's touching my pectorals.
I have a
gently.
I have Brady the Dragon Steamboat here.
He's easy there.
Brady the Sagging Dreamboat.
Hey.
Hey, I complimented you. I said you were a dreamboat, man.
That is true.
Yeah.
So Gary asked, Italian plumber, was that one of the dishes Todd referenced earlier?
Yeah.
Now Celia feels that this guy is creating reasons for the plumber to come over. Now that would be some intrigue, wouldn't it?
That would definitely add a twist.
It does leave a lot of unanswered questions. Yes, it seems like the plumber, but there's those people you connect with, and it just so happened to be maybe there was just this friendship, but it's the strangest of circumstances. I mean, Eric, if Becky came home and found you drunk with the Italian plumber who was there to fix your pipes, I mean, that's such a ridiculous statement. It's such an otherworldly event that even writing it down is ludicrous.
I think the statement you made about the Italian plumber fixing my pipes, I just think there's just something wrong with that statement.
You can't help who you end up liking as a friend. I mean, I don't want to assume anything here. He just likes the guy.
Celia feels there's something more there.
Well,
yeah.
But she says if it were Todd, she wouldn't think anything of it. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
I don't either.
Could you kindly text me and explain yourself, please, Celia?
woman.
Hang on a minute. Am I the plumber in this scenario? Or am I the guy? Or the dude, the non-plumber? Am I the plumber or the plumbee?
Oh, this is degrading.
Okay, are you
No,
ready for the
I'll be honest with you. There's very few tradesmen who are as valuable as a plumber.
Tis true.
When you think about, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're, I'm not knocking any trade out there because they're all super important, but like if you're, say your heat goes out, you could usually, you can do something. You can get by. You can put some or some heaters up or something. Things like that. If your refrigerator goes bad, you can usually take it out and, you might lose your food or something. But if your pipes are clogged and you can't use the John, you run some
You're
risks.
out of luck.
Well,
Yeah.
usually that means there's some leakage going on somewhere.
Yeah.
You need the plumber.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Celia said she meant she wouldn't think it unusual if she came home and found Todd drunk with the plumber and having a heart-to-heart conversation.
Let me translate. I'm a very personable, loving, caring, friendly person who enjoys good conversation and good bourbon. That's all she said there, folks. You don't look any further into it.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to the next one. Title: Today I fouled up Thanksgiving by creating a forehead hickey and having to take family pictures.
A ficky?
Vicky.
This sounds crazy. While my wife was getting ready to visit several different locations for Thanksgiving, I was playing with her makeup mirror. Her makeup mirror has suction cups in the back. I stuck it to my forehead to get a laugh from her, and little did I know, it left a huge, perfectly round purple hickey on my forehead. Now, all of our Thanksgiving photos will be ruined because he's going to have this big old purple dot. I'm laughing because a friend that will remain nameless, we were playing with the joysticks on my Commodore 64 back in the day, and he popped it out and put it on his forehead, and the same thing happened because he was just going for the unicorn look, and it was laughing. Then when he took it off, I mean, he had looked like he'd been attacked by a hagfish.
That's made up. A hagfish. Is that real?
Yeah, it's in the lamprey family. A lamprey and a
Who am I
hagfish.
questioning here? Brady and his
Armchair ichthyologist.
The one thing he knows more about than aquatic and what do you want to call it? Shippery is
Shippery.
our animals.
Nautical.
Hey, I did drop a reference to the jib earlier.
Yeah, nautical. Celia, we don't agree often on these things, but on this type of topic, but I agree with you. She said people take Thanksgiving photos. I like a good photo as much as anybody, and I say take all the pictures you can of your kids and your families and enjoy every moment. But I do have a problem with every time you get together having family pictures taken.
I think
You
it's
just solemn.
documentation.
Yeah.
They don't have to be posed in like. It could just
Well,
be, like.
This is, and I'm saying you might be being sarcastic now that I think about it, and it might be a knock on me because I am anti-family picture. And what I'm bigger anti is, okay, so let's take, for instance, this past weekend, my daughter was in a play this weekend. I got, some pictures of her afterwards. I wanted to get a picture of her liking my parents and things like that. And then Say's like, well, don't you want your picture with her? No, I don't. And then she acts like that's just terrible. Well, I want to look at pictures of my daughter at that age when I'm older, and I want to see that, that time in her life and with the people I love. I don't need to see, I was there. I don't need to see myself in that picture. You know what I'm saying?
Not to be morbid though, but
if I took the picture,
when you go to the great beyond and people are trying to find pictures of you with your children and with your loved ones.
Yeah.
Way to make me feel bad, Eric. I'm being selfish.
I'm just giving you the other point of view here.
Yeah.
All right. Jim says maybe he is having fond memories of his childhood playing Mario Brothers Luigi the Italian plumber.
I'm a
Luigi and I'm a gonna win.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I was picturing Mario or Luigi the entire time Brady was reading that.
I was too.
Yeah. See, Celia and I agree
That-
again, Todd.
Is that going to get us canceled?
Canceled.
No, it shouldn't.
I mean, that's not that far of a stretch. An Italian plumber. I mean,
No.
All right.
Was Luigi a plumber? Was he a plumber?
yeah. Well, they both were,
Mario?
or maybe
was a
they were
plumber?
pipe. They might have been pipe fitters, but they were. I mean, they worked with pipes,
They were pipists.
had wrenches in their back pocket
Well-
and stuff.
But why was Mario running up the girders in
What?
Donkey Kong?
Oh,
To
that's true.
save
he was a
Princess Peach.
Yeah, come on, Eric.
Had nothing to do with his vocation.
You wouldn't save your peach from a giant gorilla?
Probably.
As they were rolling barrels at you.
Exactly. Come on, that's a
Makes you wonder
perfectly
what kind of
understandable
a-
scenario.
But that's what I'm saying. Though. How do you get this? He's a plumber. There's no scenario in any of these video games where him being a plumber comes into play.
Yeah,
I think it does.
yeah.
Or else we wouldn't all say that. Because I know he's a plumber, but I don't know why.
I'm looking it up.
That's what I'm saying, though. How do you know that from what you know about Mario? How do you know he's a plumber?
Okay, here we go. Mario. Mario is a character created by the Japanese video game designer something. He is the title character of the Mario franchise and the mascot of the Japanese video game company Nintendo. Mario is an Italian plumber who resides in the Mushroom Kingdom with his younger twin brother Luigi. Their adventure generally centers around rescuing Princess Peach from the villain Bowser while using power-ups that give them different abilities. I mean, he's wearing overalls.
Do mushrooms have plumbing?
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, there's pipes though. There's pipes in all of his games, other than Donkey Kong.
And he's
Please-
always
please.
hanging around with turtles and such.
It leaves me with a lot of questions.
Yeah, he does have a lot of questions.
Well,
But maybe
Eric, so Mario's infancy, in which he was transported by a stork to the Mushroom Kingdom. I'll stop right there. Now you're that's his backstory. He was transported by stork to the Mushroom Kingdom, and you have a problem with the fact that he's a plumber?
Well, what I'm saying is, if he was taken as an infant by the stork to the Mushroom Kingdom, how'd he become a plumber? Do mushrooms have plumbing? Apparently,
well,
they must.
Yoshi the turtle sitting there driving a car around. Maybe he has indoor plumbing.
Is that true? Well, I think it's safe to say if you live in a mushroom, then the mushroom has to have plumbing. Else, where are you going to go? He's going to wear diapers
See,
your whole life?
You would just have to sporadically go.
There's one of two things going on there. Either something got lost in the translation. It's like a Europe song,
Yeah.
or these Japanese video game designers were high on something.
Well,
Mushrooms.
there
That's
you go.
what it was. They were eating mushrooms.
I think, Eric, I'm going to look at it. Here's what I think. They needed an everyday hero. And again, they knew the value of a good plumber. It's much like when Tom Schultz called up the guy that worked at Home Depot to come and take Brad Delp's spot. Who would you would never dream of a guy, and no offense to people that work at Home Depot, but you would never dream that some guy working at Home Depot is going to be in Boston all of a sudden taking Brad Delp's spots.
Well, but
he was.
But he didn't pick him because he worked at Home Depot. He picked him because he sounded like Brad Delp.
Well,
You
he
don't
gets
think
extra
the-
stage
you're right,
props
but you
while
don't- you don't
Delp's
think-
out.
You don't think Tom Schultz smelled like a good story there and thought, man, this guy,
Well,
not
but-
only can he sing, but he works at Home Depot.
Well, yeah, it's a great story, but if he sung like me, he's not getting picked to be in Boston.
Well, but maybe Mario, besides being a great plumber, had the other skills necessary to save Princess Peach.
He could chuck a tortoise shell with the best of them
True.
and leave bananas in ill-gotten places to set
But
a trap.
here's a better question, Eric. Was Luigi had he also been trained in the arts of plumbery?
Well, he had to be because, I mean, even though his coveralls were green, he was wearing the same uniform.
True.
He just they worked for the same company, just different divisions.
Were they both transported by the stork at the same time?
Be a hell of a stork. I'm guessing two different storks.
Different storks.
Stork
I
guy.
can hear the wheels turning there in our brains.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Celia says the Mushroom Kingdom must have one heck of a trade school
It is true.
Right.
or a CTC.
I bet their first day there, they sent them to get striped paint.
Probably. Or the
fun
board
guy.
stretcher.
The board stretcher.
All right.
Jim, you start a conversation, and now you're sorry you made the reference.
Yeah.
Were you not entertained by that?
Are you not entertained?
Look back in the history of Mario and Luigi.
But Jim, we have to ask you, what made you say he was a plumber?
Well, exactly. How'd you know he was a plumber?
I think
I
his
just
answer's going to be the
knew.
same as ours. We just knew it.
We just knew it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Today I fouled up by trying to be funny and embarrassing myself for every Thanksgiving for the rest of my life. Are you ready, gentlemen?
I'm ready.
Yes.
Obligatory that I have to say this as the reader is saying this. This did not happen today. This happened on Thanksgiving about 15 years ago when I was a young lad. My family always goes to my one uncle's house, and they have a big basement with a light switch at the top of the stairs. Me, 22-year-old male, my brother, my sister, and my 8 cousins always played a game which we called Monster in the Bathroom. The game is just to hide and seek, but all the lights are out, and the people have to make a noise when the seeker asks them to. Also, we never play in the actual bathroom. No idea why we call it that. So, we play a few games, and the lights start on so people can find a good place to hide when the seeker stands at the top of the stairs and counts down. When they are finished counting, they turn out the light and make their way down the stairs to find people. My oldest cousin was the seeker in this game, and he's kind of known as the funny one. And I was presented an opportunity to out humor him. As he was walking down the stairs, I suddenly got the urge to pass gas. I could tell this was going to be mammoth just by the feel. So I was dying for him to ask us to make a noise, like the seeker says.
This is totally what was going through my mind when you were describing this game.
All right. So finally, as he got to the bottom of the stairs with the lights out, and he screams loudly, "Make a noise," trying to get a laugh out of everyone. Not to be outdone, I released the loudest, moistest flatulation that has ever been released in my young life. Every single person.
Time out.
What?
Time out.
You're interrupting the
Moistest.
flow here.
I don't think moistest is a word. Yeah, but if you eat here, Brady, I mean, as a 4th grade reading teacher, let me allow you got to stop and let people digest this. Moistest. He let out the moistest flatulent in his young life.
Mm-hmm.
If we go too long, people will forget that. First off, is moistest a word?
The moistest cake I've ever had,
All
or
right.
the most moist.
The most moist. Second off,
Now hold on.
did he say loudest too?
Yes.
I don't know that those two things can happen at the same time.
Well, hold on.
Okay, but
Uh,
all right, continue.
Okay. So, hold on. Every single person hiding burst into hysterical laughter, including myself and the seeker. After the laughing died down, I realized my foul up. My legendary flatulence was actually a combination, meaning, pardon me for those delicate ears.
It was a solid and a liquid.
It was a shart.
Yes.
Is his word. So am I allowed to say that?
No.
Okay.
You already did.
I think
I'm good quoting here. I'm quoting.
Oh, yeah.
So it was actually that, and I had wet feces dripping down my leg. The other foul up was that even though everyone else stopped laughing after 30 seconds, I couldn't stop. I laughed so hard that I peed my pants. My cousin immediately caught me, and it was revealed that I had simultaneously pooped his pants and peed his pants at the same time, and the game ended, of course, right there, because I had to go upstairs to borrow pants from my cousin. Now, every single year, when my family arrives at Thanksgiving, every cousin comes up to me and yells, "Make a noise!" And this has gotten old to them. This has not gotten old to them, and I will be arriving at my uncle's house in about 2 hours. I will undoubtedly be asked to make a noise, as is Thanksgiving tradition from here until the day I die.
There's a lot to unwrap there.
Yes, there is. So do you think in his effort to be heard, he overextended himself?
He outpunched his weight class of control.
Did you see what I projected?
Uh,
The search was, is moistest a word? The verdict is
Yay.
yes. Moistest is in the Scrabble dictionary and is worth 11 points by itself.
You play loose with that Scrabble dictionary, Mr. Fiscus.
I'm just reading what's there.
I see it.
So that word is off limits next time we play Scrabble.
Okay. I see how it's gonna go. Okay. Shall we move on, or you still have
Oh, you're not allowed
comments
to
about?
Wait a
comment on
minute.
it?
Yes, come on.
So, again, I question the volume and the what's the word?
The moistness.
Humidity. The humidity of the flatulence.
Did somebody behind him say, "Jeez, oh Pete, I discipline my children for that"?
Oh man. So it was a dark stairwell. The seeker was coming down, and then make a noise, and then rip snort, and then all kinds of.
I think snort was the wrong word for the second part of that.
Yeah. Then he won, in my opinion. He won the game.
He won and lost at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah. He won. Whoever had to do the laundry lost.
Yes.
I'm telling you, after a while, I believe I would conjure up another brew, and if someone asked me make a noise, I would unleash the brewing.
Oh yeah, that could be a lot of fun. Like the family could like take bets every year on whether he's going to hold it together.
Pretty soon it's going to be on DraftKings.
a pre-meal game and a post-meal game to see if that makes a difference.
That's what I was going to say. This is probably a post-meal game. The first time it happened, his family's probably eating some of those dishes that we talked about earlier.
Yeah, probably so. Oh man. Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm going to the next one. I'm trying to select. Here we go. I had this one labeled as okay. Wow. So this happened a few weeks ago, but I found out about it today. This girl and I have been casually dating for a couple months. She's a very interesting individual. Her life is something like a television show, and she always seems to find herself in interesting situations. This time took the cake, though. A few weeks ago, I was at her place, and I recall her having her phone on her. Well, let's say some whoopee and some intimacy happened. And did not know that the phone.
All right, Bob Eubanks.
I was just going to say.
Yes.
Right,
Unbeknownst, she did not realize that she had, I hate to use this term, but butt dialed a number and did not know that it was picked up by the answering machine with
all right.
all kinds of pillow talk and intimacies, some of the vile nature. And it happened to be her father's phone number. So that
Outstanding.
there was a 15-minute
Triced.
interlude. Christ, thank you. So, needless to say, when we went home to New York, and her father would not look at her during Thanksgiving dinner, and was very, very angry. So, for an entire dinner, the father would not speak to the daughter for such a faux pas.
I'm just trying to figure out. So where was the phone?
On the nightstand.
Okay, so how did she?
It just happened. It just.
I'm sorry. That explanation is not good enough for me. I don't.
Well.
Enlighten me.
I shan't. I shall do so off microphone.
You shan't or you shart.
Okay.
Speaking of which, Gary says Thanksgiving edition has become Shark
Short week.
Sorry.
and Jim also says back to Luigi and Mario. He said thought it said it on the box for I don't know which game you're referring to, Donkey Kong or
Any of them.
Super
He was
Mario
a he was a
Brothers or
he was a plumber and all of them, all of his adult life.
that was where his training was. Yes.
He started out as an apprentice. There's a snoot coming in the frame.
There
there.
is a
There's a
snoot.
dog snoot approaching my ear holes. Sorry, I found I had one and it roined. Hold on, almost ready. Okay. I lost it and yeah, I'm daggone. Oh, here it is. Okay. Here we go. Today I fouled up and accidentally drugged my parents and ruined Thanksgiving.
Drugged them?
Drugged them.
Drugged. Oh, okay.
With tryptophan.
So growing up, my parents were always very anti-drug and especially anti-marijuana because they hate the smell. My mom tried it in college once, but it didn't do anything for her and she didn't like it. And my dad has never smoked anything in his life or even seen drugs. I, on the other hand, enjoy some cannabis and I smoke it sometimes a few times a week. That became an issue when I was living with my parents. When I moved out, it was an issue whenever I was visiting. After a long conversation, my parents agreed that I could smoke outside on the backyard in the wooded area. After a few years of me smoking in the yard and openly coming back inside and hanging out with my family, my parents grew more and more comfortable with cannabis use. The fact that it has been such a huge topic in the news with all of its medical benefits also helped my case. So last year, I was trying something called a dab. For those who don't know, it's concentrated cannabis oil, and dabs are very potent. And I took a little bit to my parents' house for the festivities.
A little dab will do you.
A little dab will do you. So I put some on the Oreos for me and my brother to enjoy later. Each had about a little bit of this distillate on it. We were eating and drinking with our parents throughout the day, and about an hour after we ate the Oreos, we began to feel perfectly warm and cozy. We began talking to our parents about how great it felt, and my parents were both a bit tipsy from drinking, so they said they would try it. So I made them a cannabis-infused Oreo. An hour after they ate the Oreos, they were laughing and having a good time. Then about an hour after that, about 10 minutes, we are all eating, and my mom got a funny look on her face. My dad says, if you need to go lay down for a bit, we can bring you food when we're ready. And she said, okay. She went to her room and continued eating, assuming that she was asleep from eating the cookie. I went in to check on her, and she was in the bed sobbing, saying the room was spinning, and she was so intoxicated. I'm like, uh-oh. So I get her a bucket just in case she gets sick, and I turn the lights off. Then I went back to the dinner table, and my dad is staring at his wine glass. I ask if he's okay, and he slowly nods yes. He then excuses himself to the restroom, and from what we can clearly hear and see, he starts violently vomiting. What's going on? Why do I feel like I'm dying? He said. And then the poop show really had started. For the next few hours, I was going back and forth, trying to control my mother's hysterical sobbing and my dad's violent vomiting. He threw up a total of 9 times and had the worst. He said he had the worst nausea of his entire life. My mom cried the entire night and couldn't sleep. Eventually, I got them both to bed, and I walked into the dining room and just stared at the table. All the plates remained completely uneaten and untouched. So they consumed the Oreo before Thanksgiving dinner and started bad tripping.
It really makes you wonder, though, what the hell what was
I guess it was some strong medicine.
I know what it was. I bet they were those damn kaleidoscopes or whatever instead of real Oreos.
That's it. That's it. They did not mix well with the
Or Hydrox.
That's what I meant.
Hydroxychloroquine.
Well, those are okay because again, those are the original Oreos, but the kaleidoscopes.
No, Hydrox are not okay. They're kosher, but other than that, they're not okay.
Well, they were at least connected to Oreos.
Yeah.
As opposed to the bastardization of
very, very loosely connected. I might add.
I thought they were Oreos before Oreos.
No.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. No.
We've looked this up before.
Yeah,
While
we
Brady's
have.
Finding the next one, I'm going to look it up again. What are they called?
Hydrox. I don't even know what they're called.
Well,
That's what they are.
Just HYDROX.
Yep.
HYDROX.
Yeah. All right.
What is going on over there?
Leaf Brands.
Okay. Shall I go?
Well, I've found an article that says the strange history of the Oreo and Hydrox cookie rivalry. So they couldn't be the same thing.
No, they're not. I was wrong. No, but what I actually was thinking is the Hydrox was before the Oreo.
Yeah,
so,
it came first.
Yeah.
But the Oreo was a vast improvement on the Hydrox.
I'm still wondering though, Brady, how much they could have consumed just on one Oreo a piece. Did it say did I miss that they ate bunches of Oreos?
He said
sleeve?
he gave a 0.1 grammage, but I just skipped that number because I didn't think it would be important until now.
I wouldn't have
I don't know what that means, but I
Yeah.
guess it was like it was a couple drops of that oil stuff, and he put it on the cream's filling, and they ate a couple of them.
I bet they weren't double stuffed. I bet the problem was I bet the creme to oil ratio was off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but I also wonder if it wasn't the oil base that made him sick.
Yeah.
I suspect that oil tastes like the ladybug in your mouth, Todd. Disgusting.
I would, yeah. It would definitely make you wonder.
What's really weird, though, what makes you think, though, is while one had a violent barfing reaction, the other had a crying reaction.
Yeah.
I could understand if they both would have gotten sick,
Yeah.
but
Well,
it really does.
She was just in distress because the room was spinning and she didn't know why.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I
usually
like
if
how
the
the
room-
dad said he was dying.
Usually, if the room is spinning, your barfing is not too far around the corner. I mean,
Yeah,
That is true. So, I want to cast actors into this, so
Well,
this
this
can be
would
recreated.
kind of like the Drunken History.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
but
would be fun. We
that
we
would
should
be.
we should. Here's what we should do. I just thought of something. We'll just say it on air. I'll just share my thoughts. That's what I do. the The next live episode, we should act out either "Am I the asshole" or this segment, like the "Today I messed up" segment, and we should act it out and get volunteers from the audience to act out certain roles as well.
Not
Now,
a bad
we
idea.
couldn't play that by ear. We would have to do some planning ahead and find the right good ones to do, but that would be fun to do.
Yeah,
It would be.
it's a good idea.
Especially the last story about the hide and seek. Who that would be a great character to play, the person who messed himself.
And Brady, I could totally see that hide and seek game going on in your basement. That's what I was imagining when this whole thing was being described. Your basement.
See, I was imagining exactly what I said when Brady knows the story about a band practice when I got yelled at. That was I got yelled at like a child at 30 years old.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of the entire time.
No. Okay.
Did you mess yourself?
No, I
No.
didn't, but I interrupted him speaking. I guess that was maybe a few
Mid-sentence.
times.
Oh gosh. Sorry, that is probably
I
only
think
funny to us, but
Oh, yeah.
I think you have to tell the story now.
All right, I'll tell a story real quick, Brady. I'm sorry.
okay.
So I'm not going to say who. I'm not going to mention names, but we were at band practice, and practice was over, and we were like walking up the stairs. It's kind of a tight, like like a closed-in area.
I didn't know you were walking up the stairs.
Oh yeah.
We were in like the stairwell, like and I don't know what we were talking about, but it was like an important.
So what was the order of people on the steps?
I was at the top. I was more farther up the top. Todd
Maybe
was
Brady
about
should tell this story. Brady, you tell it. I think it'd be
Well,
funnier
no, I'll
coming
just
from
do
you.
the setup. And like 3 steps down from me was Todd, who was 2 steps above the said friend who happened to be standing on the floor. So Todd's posterior was more shoulder level.
There happened to be a drummer in there somewhere too.
Yeah, I think he was not on the stairwell that I recall. It was just this order. So then when this said friend was trying to relay an important piece of information, he was like, blah, 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 blah. And then 3 steps up from him, Todd has some intestinal airings with report. And it interrupted him the first time. So he starts to resume this sentence again, and another report happened 3 words into it, and he got frustrated because of the interruption. He's like, "My gosh, I discipline my children for that."
Which
And let's
Which
just
at that
say this
point-
said friend has a pretty ribald sense of humor. So it's not like their delicate sensibilities was offended by that, like the act of where the noise was emanating. It was just the fact that the interruption had happened.
Well, see, and that's
twice in a row, like. Well, and I think you could probably imagine how well I take getting scolded. So at that point, it just turned into just a giant blow of laughter, and I think he just ended up saying, "Forget it." Just ended the whole
Go to
conversation.
your room.
Yeah.
But I guess the part of the story that amuses me the most is that he was more concerned about being interrupted than being shoulder level to where that was coming
Oh,
from.
and that's what made it funny. It's like I discipline my children for that.
And then I thought you discipline your children for farting.
Which would
What did he
explain why
mean?
his children every year headline the Macy's parade as balloons.
Now looking back, first off, you got to think about this. This was 15 years ago, and it's still like, fresh as a daisy. But like,
so to speak.
yeah. But looking back, I wonder now: did he mean he disciplines his children for flatulence
Or interruption.
or interrupting? Maybe that was it.
Or both. Gary. So long story short, report.
pretty much it.
All right. Go to your next one, Brady.
Okay, and I didn't do this on purpose, so I promise this all doesn't take the same, but I'm not even going to read the title of this. I'm just going to let the hilarity unfold. Todd, keep a close eye on Eric to make sure his soul doesn't leave his body.
See if he loses it.
This is a throwaway account for reasons that will soon be obvious. Just thinking about this makes me want to wither away like a humiliated houseplant that hasn't been watered in a year. For context, at the time of this story, I'm 17, female, of average height and build. I say this because no one expects me to have issues. You see, I have problems with staying hydrated. So when I go to the restroom, it is usually very firm and uncomfortable. She has sought medical treatment for this. Also, she does not have these said intestinal movements more than twice a week or 3 times a week. So let's just say that the size is not congruent to the person making it. And it's a problem. This has caused me to have issues with flushing my entire life. So this is why I never go to the restroom at other people's houses. And this could cause a lot of discomfort and anxiety. The story takes place in a little southern town. My parents, my brother, and one of my sisters and I were visiting family for Thanksgiving in this little town. We rented a mobile home to stay in while we were there. So Thanksgiving comes and everyone is at our mobile home. While we ate, I felt the need to use the restroom, and I could tell that it was going to be unpleasant. So I snuck into the master bedroom where she conducted her commerce. When done, I very hesitantly pulled the lever down to flush. When she says mobile home, I think this is a motor home, like an RV.
That's what I'm thinking, like an RV type.
Yeah. So, I waited and tried again, and I waited and tried again, and nothing, and I panicked, and I washed my hands very quickly before leaving like nothing happened. I forgot about it after a while, until a few hours later, when we were all sitting around chatting, my dad disappeared into the master bedroom, only to come out a few moments later. The toilet's clogged. Who clogged it? In the loudest, angriest tone I've ever heard it. My dad is a soft-spoken gentleman, and I have no idea why he felt the need to shout with such an angry voice as he did. Everyone looked at each other while denying any involvement, and I felt all the blood drain from my face. I couldn't do anything other than try to look busy on my phone. Eventually, my brother piped up. I saw her go into the restroom earlier. I didn't know whether to strangle him or to lie down and let the earth reclaim me. Did you do this? My dad demanded. I sputtered in embarrassment. I didn't mean to. I thought it went down. Well, now it's clogged and nothing's going down, and my dad was really visibly upset, and my embarrassment grew. We decided to let it sit for a while longer. Hopefully, it would disintegrate or something. Nope. It was still there 4 hours later. The toilet is still... What?
This isn't a block of ice. It's not going to melt in a couple hours.
This toilet is still clogged, my dad thundered across the room, alerting everyone in a 5-mile radius that his daughter, in fact, had soiled the restroom. By now, the Snickers had returned with snide comments about me and my issues. My dad searched the mobile home, the RV, for a plunger, but had no luck. We might have to call the owners, he said in disapproval. I don't know how I'm going to explain this. Well, Dad. Anyway, the giggles had turned into all-out laughing, in their word, guffawing. While my family heard this, I tried laughing with them at first, but my humiliation began to overpower me, and I started to uncontrollably sob. My insecure teenage ego was torn apart all at once. But when my tears didn't stop, they tried to comfort me, all while holding back giggling. All their efforts to comfort me were undone when my mom stepped back into the master bedroom and began gagging because she said the smell was uncontrollable, which caused all my siblings and family to look at me again and start laughing. I'd had enough. I went to bed holding back my tears. The next day, I sulked, hardly leaving my room, and the owner came and did what he could to make it flush, but still nothing. This, of course, made everyone laugh all over again. More laughs. My mom complained loudly with harshness. Harshness. We ended up leaving the mobile home with it still clogged. We never were able to fix it, and my family brings it up about every year at Thanksgiving. And all these years later, I still feel utterly humiliated, and my mom and my dad did apologize to me later, saying they did overreact, but the damage is done.
I was taking notes during that.
Taking notes.
I have a few points to make. First off,
A few brief remarks.
get over it. First off, to act like years and years later you're still scarred from this. That's a problem
from a male mind.
That is well, we are. But okay, like everybody poops. Isn't that a book?
Everybody poops.
Right beside The Sound and the Fury by Faulkner.
What I'm getting at though,
That's
there's
an
a whole
R.E.M.
deeper
song,
side
isn't it?
conversation we can have here, and that is not letting go of something like that, and then as an adult acting like it scarred you for life. That is not a lot. There are people that deal with a lot of heavy shit. No pun intended. You know you know what I mean. That is not a life scarring issue. So that's the first thing. And I didn't think about that till the end. Here are the notes I made. Right off the bat, it said she had experienced flushing problems. That's not a flushing problem. That is the problem is not with the flushing. The problem is with
What's
The
being
volume.
flushed.
what's being flushed. Yes. Second thing, you could tell it was going to be unpleasant. What does that mean? Like, I mean, what do you guys like?
I mean, maybe she had some sense that certain movements were larger and girthier than others. I don't know.
And maybe she had discomfort that led to
Well-
all the telltale signs that it was not going to be fun.
Is anybody ever looking forward to it? Is anybody ever like, this is going to be a great time. I can't wait to get in there and just show them what I got. And I mean, like, and this third thing is, may I suggest to this family a poop knife?
Dude, if you look at the comments of this,
Yes, the
this
comments.
first 7 comments were that.
Yeah.
Well,
Or a poop spatula,
what-
a
the-
poop twig, a poop fork, anything. But for the family just to leave and not deal with it,
But I will
That's
counter
pretty-
one. I will counter
pretty
one
weak.
of your points, though, that you said during the story. I believe the strategy sometimes of letting it fester does soften the situation up a little bit, and then it will go down. So that's a solid strategy, so to speak.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, you see what I did there.
well, I mean, are we talking like an iceberg, like a buoy here? I mean, what are we talking about? Are we talking? Is this thing getting air to it? What's going on?
Well, I'm assuming, oh gosh, since it's an RV, it is probably not sitting in water. It's on the plastic ramp, and the ramp can't, the
funnel?
trapdoor can't trip.
This sounds like the Great Atlanta Run.
We're probably grossing people out right now, but you know what?
Right.
This is life. We got to deal with it, and we got to help this poor girl. A coat hanger. Not the plastic coat hangers, a metal coat hanger works wonders in those situations. I only know that from experience, not my own experience, but I happened to be in a rental house one weekend when this exact same thing happened, and just so happened our sound man for the weekend, who happened to also love plumbing, wasn't a plumber, but he just loved helping out. He ended up doing some good with a coat hanger, and so. But my biggest problem, I think, is this family just leaving just leaving this RV or whatever and not dealing with it.
So your sound guy chopped up someone else's deposit or his own?
So here's the story, and I'm not mentioning any names. We were playing out of town, about 3 hours away, and we were staying in a lake house. And a guest at the house. There were several people at the house. A guest at the house had some
Issues.
with with his or her. What do you call it, Brady? Commerce conducting, and they were struggling getting it to flush. Another person went to help. About a half hour later, they were still struggling. Next thing you know, our sound man comes over and he's like, "Hey, can I go up and help?" And we're like, "No one's holding you back, pal." And they go up and they take care of the issue. And it turns out it was with a coat hanger. So my point in all of that, I don't mean to get disgusting, but again, they just leave it. They just leave. I mean,
Maybe they felt that they did not have the technical skills, and because it wasn't theirs, they didn't want to break it or make it worse. I don't know. I'm just free versing here.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. So my thoughts mirror, as Brady said, I was having the same thoughts as the comments popped up. First of all,
I didn't have the comments.
Gary and Celia both say you need to make friends with the plumber, or be friends with the plumber.
Let me suggest Mario or Luigi.
Yeah, Mario or Luigi, or the Italian plumber from the first TIFU. Celia also said, sounds like a job for the poop knife, that's what I was thinking. She needs a knife.
That really is a thing, guys. Sorry, we're not evidently
one of our previous episodes.
It can be found on Amazon.
Jim also says, why are you visiting family in Texas and everyone comes to your mobile home? Cousin Eddie's got nothing on you.
That there's an RV, Clark.
Yeah, yeah, right. And then Gary said, but that book has an ending, Todd. Did you say something about a book? I must have missed that. Was that in your notes? Your copious notes that you took about the story?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I could see, and Brady, I'd take Brady's point about we are looking at this through a male lens. A teenage girl having these issues would be rather distressing, I would guess.
Yeah.
And just like the story about the guy, the make a noise guy, from these things tend to carry on in family credos and traditions and creeds. So yeah, she feels the shame of clogging the toilet in Texas in the mobile home, or the RV, if you will, Clark.
But I thought that was a pretty good run of list there. Some wide read. And I did forego the ones that said, oh no.
I got to put this comment out. I'm sorry to
No.
Jim says, while at Ohio State, someone left a log in the toilet that looked about the
God.
size of a can of green beans. We flushed
Del Monte?
hundreds of times. Del Monte.
Green Giant.
Ho, ho, ho. Some finally broke it up with a coat hanger. So
There you go.
The utility of a coat hanger again in that situation. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't question why this young lady was distraught the night of. But however many years later, to still speaking as if she's mentally scarred from it, that to me seems a bit off.
As far as Jim's comment goes, I'm surprised someone left the log in the toilet. Brady knows what I refer to.
My freshman year at Ohio State, somebody conducted commerce in the elevator.
Yeah.
Oh, wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. There was some grotesque people that was on my floor my freshman year.
At Ohio State?
Yeah.
Yes. Indeed.
Yeah.
I visited one weekend. Awful.
That's
Every
why
time I visited, Brady at Ohio State, something bad happened to
That's why I crack up as a dad with a kid at OU. All the people that are like, oh, they're sending your kid to that college, huh? That party college, and like none the wiser that their kids or other kids around in any college are doing that stupidity. Like it's
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm
It's
fairly
all over.
certain the party scene at Portsmouth at Shawnee is not very party.
well, probably
Right.
not, but either way, yeah, I that's a tough story because again, we can empathize with the girl here, and there's probably some people thinking the dad was being a jerk, but is there something there to be said that maybe he never even fathomed that it would be her? You know what I mean? Like maybe he thought it was one of the boys or something. He was kind of
Yeah.
who did that? Trying to kind of play it off as like thinking
Who
it
did
wouldn't bother
that?
them as much. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So,
Celia asked the question of me, bad things that happened to me while I was in Columbus is never good to me. Brady, he talks about that dorm. I visited there and I just didn't, not necessarily anything bad happened to me. I just didn't like the atmosphere. Then he moved into an apartment. I visited there and parked behind the apartment building, and it was like after a snow flurry or whatever, and snow
yeah.
blown onto the wall of the building, covering up a sign that says tow zone. So I wake up
Do
in the
not
morning
park.
and my car's gone because it'd been towed.
And the
yeah,
sign was
just-
snowed over.
Yeah, it was. I hate Columbus. I hate going there. Nothing good ever happens to me there. I was there yesterday, and I guess nothing bad happened yesterday other than
Yeah.
being in a 14-minute backup on 71. But
That's of course that's everywhere anymore.
Yeah.
In my I think I mentioned the story without mentioning names. My son's best friend in school's car was stolen at Xavier within the first week they started college there this week. Or this year. It's just
My boss got his car stolen at Columbus this couple days ago, this past weekend. But yeah, it sounds like it's gonna be a lost cause.
yep.
so. It seems to me that there's a common theme among the Thanksgiving themed today I fouled up, and that is bowel issues and digestive issues and things like that, which makes sense when you think about
Makes
food
perfect
is
sense.
food seems to be the focal point of Thanksgiving. So
Yeah, food is very central to the situation.
yeah, definitely.
All right, good topics.
Good topics. Good topics, one and all.
And see, you guys were talking before we went on the air. Well, what if we go 42 minutes and we don't have a
Hey.
game?
Proactivity, proactive, Eric.
I said, when have we ever been short? We usually have to cut ourselves off.
My whole life, sir.
Oh man.
You were right. But hey, it's good to be prepared. We're prepared. Just
It
so
is
everybody
good.
knows, we had a game in our back pocket.
Yeah,
we could
we
have
did.
thrown
We
out
did.
there.
We did.
Yep. And just a reminder, we will not be having a live episode next week because of the holidays.
Correct. Biggest
But-
bar night of the year next Wednesday.
right.
Yep, I'd never believe that. We were
Well,
always
Brady-
told that.
Well, and Brady, think about it. We played that night a few times, and it always sucked.
It did.
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It-
I don't.
oh.
I don't ever remember in all my years of playing music having a good. Now, granted, I know bands do, so I'm not. I don't want to make. Maybe we just had bad nights, or maybe it was our fault. I don't know, but I just know that. I just
Multiple
know
every
that.
time.
Yeah, it was just not good.
It's a lie
But to me-
foisted on us.
But one of the worst times to play is the weekend after Thanksgiving. Now that sucks.
Yeah.
I don't frequent bars, so I just always assumed that was true. But
So-
I things are usually true for a reason, so I'm guessing maybe at one time. But I just don't think that holds up today as much.
It does
Also,
not.
supposedly the biggest pizza night of the year.
That I can see because people don't want to cook, like
Right.
and I will say this:
Leftovers.
there could be something. There could be something to the fact that maybe years ago when there weren't as many options for people. Maybe the night before Thanksgiving was a huge bar night, and now there's so many options that maybe people are out at bars, but it just doesn't seem like a collective. Everybody's at one joint,
No,
hanging out at the bar or whatever. But
no.
Right.
So,
All right. So, yeah, as Brady said, we will not be on next week. So we'll be back in 2 weeks with episode 149.
Eric, we're pushing 150.
We are.
Hey, Eric, are you doing trivia next? I'm sure you're not doing it on Thanksgiving night.
No, not on Thanksgiving night.
Are you? Do you have to do it this weekend or tomorrow with the Bengals game?
Actually, I have a board meeting, so
Oh.
Becky is my sub, so she'll be doing trivia. But,
yeah. Well, I guess it ends about the time the game's starting.
Yeah. Actually, I won't be in trivia for another 3 weeks. Counting Thanksgiving, of course, but I got basketball season starting and got a couple games there. But anywho. All right. Once again, audio-wise, our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and the iHeartRadio app, and most anywhere else you might find an audio podcast. Video-wise, we are also on Spotify, YouTube's Play It By Your Podcast. Search that for our channel, and Twitch. Search Play It By Your Podcast there as well. Social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagrams. We have all those. All those links are on our website, playitbyyourpodcast.com. And you can interact with us via email at admin@playitbyyourpodcast.com. You can leave a voice message by clicking the link at your audio podcast provider, or we also have a link on our website. So anything else for the good of the order here, gentlemen?
nope, gentlemen. Just a happy Thanksgiving to one and all. Eat yourself into
Yes.
a coma.
Eat a lot of bird. Don't forget to dip it in gravy.
Pipsquack.
Bid.
Take us out, Todd.
Thanks for listening to the Play It By Ear podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter at Play It By Ear Pod 2, and our website at anchor.fm/Play It By Ear podcast. Thanks again, and join us next time as we play it by ear.